For me, it is about the law and people. That is not a legal defense, let me tell you, and how people can resolve and better themselves.
Justice with passion.
I knew I was going to go into law because I always defended everybody. I was always the one who found a solution and tried to resolve the problem by having people talk to each other.
Justice with truth.
So I'm giving you one more chance to tell me the truth.
This is Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. James Delancey is suing Jack Presley in the amount of $492.48 for property damage and false advertisement.
All rise. Court is now in session. The Honorable Judge Cristina Perez presiding. Please be seated. All parties have been sworn in, Your Honor.
Thank you, Renard. Mr. Delancey, I understand that you hired a stripper for one of your best friend's bachelor party. Is that
correct, Your Honor.
And you just did not like her.
It wasn't what we had paid for.
Okay, why don't you tell me what you were doing the night? You were throwing the bachelor party for your friend, Steve?
Yeah, it was my buddy Steve.
Steve, you can go ahead and stand up next to Mr. Delancey.
So he was getting married, and I was his best man, so it's up to me to, plan the bachelor party and everything. And originally, he had asked us not to have a stripper because his fiancée, now wife, didn't really want one. She's not into that. She's very conservative, so we weren't going to do it. But then me and the guys were talking the night before, and we were saying, it's just not a bachelor party unless you have a stripper. So
Got it.
The next morning, I gave Mr. Presley a call because I've used him before, and I've always been happy. Yeah, and his website states that you can do last-minute bookings, and so I called and I requested a number of the girls off the website, and he said all the girls that I requested weren't available. But he had a...
And that's understandable, right?
I mean, yeah, it's understandable. He said he had a girl and that, that she had experience and, he'd send her by. And I said, that's fine, I trust him. I've used him before.
Okay, did you ask any specifics about the girl or for pictures or anything like that?
He said that she wasn't featured on the website, and he told me that, she's really good, that we'll be really happy with her. So I said, I trust you. I've used you before. I'm gonna trust you.
Okay. Mr. Presley, how long have you been in business?
15 years.
15 years. And do you have a set of regular girls that you employ?
Yes, we do.
Okay. And in situations like this, are you always able to deliver at the 11th hour?
Not really, because we have, the girls have other jobs, and when we at least have 1 to 2 weeks notice, so we can get the girls available they want. Some are very popular and it takes a little bit more time, 3 to 4 weeks. And I had nobody that day for him. And Temptation called me in the morning.
And you're Temptation, Ms. Johnson, is that correct?
Yes.
Why don't you go ahead and stand up next to Mr. Presley, please. So your name is Lisa Johnson.
Yes.
But you go by Temptation.
Temptation, yes.
Okay, I won't even ask why, but go ahead.
And then I told him we have one girl available. She's a little bit older, but very experienced. I think you'll enjoy her, but that's all I have at the last minute.
Okay, so then what happened, Mr. Delancey?
Well, I mean, we went go-kart racing, and we hit up one of our favorite bars, did a couple of shots there, and then the limo took us back to my dad's place because he was gone for the weekend. He said we could use the house. It's beautiful. So we're there, and the doorbell rings, and we open the door, and there's Temptation, and I mean, honestly, we're a little bit shocked.
Did you know she was a stripper?
I mean, yeah, because of the way she was dressed at the time.
And what did you say when you opened the door?
I was dumbstruck for a second. She kind of just barreled her way into the room and started her show.
And what was wrong with Temptation?
Well, I mean, Your Honor, I mean, to be honest, it's just I don't really want like someone who is as old as my mom stripping for me.
So she wasn't the vision of the stripper, of your ideal stripper?
Well, I mean, she looks nothing like any of the strippers on the website as well. And so, I mean, and she just barreled her way in and started the show, but we, I mean...
So tell me about the show. What did she do?
It was uncomfortable, and no one was really into it. And then she was starting to get frustrated because she was saying we needed to start tipping her more, and we weren't tipping enough.
So what did you guys decide to do?
She started telling us that she was going to kick the show into high gear, and at that point she pulled out this whip, and she just started like swinging it around and around, and as she's swinging it around, she knocks into the mantle behind her, and she knocks my grandmother, the urn holding my grandmother's ashes, onto the ground. It cracks. Her ashes are on the carpet. And I mean, at that point, that ended the show.
Coming up on Justice for All.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I mean, Your Honor, once she broke that urn, she wasn't even apologizing. She was just demanding more money from us because we hadn't given her enough tips in her fee.
They were really cheap.
And later,
It was my idea to get drugs, but Dylan over there is the one that got them for us.
Breaks. So you are admitting to me that you guys did drugs?
closed captioning provided by. You're watching Justice for All with Judge Cristina Perez. We're back with the case of James Delancey, who is suing Jack Presley for property damage and a refund for services.
Oh my goodness. So, Temptation, tell me what happened.
I got the call for the party. I get to the party, and these men were already, usually when you get to a party, people are a little bit okay still. These guys had been pre-partying, so they were very, very wasted. And they were just, you know, all over the place, you know, tugging at me and, you know, but anyway, so we proceeded to have a good time. We got started and I was doing my thing with my rope and they were coming at me though, because they were all drunk and playing around, and I was whipping the whip around and I
What do you mean they were coming at you?
They were coming at me and I was backing off, and then when I was whipping the whip, I hit the urn, and that's when we all stopped
And why were you approaching her? Why were
We were not
We were
going
drunk.
at her. We were trying to keep her away from us. I mean, she just kept rubbing up on us, and I mean, it's awkward. It's like having your aunt or your mom
other way
rubbing
around.
up on you, and it wasn't an enjoyable experience. So we were trying to keep her away
Oh,
from
she's running
us.
up on
and
you when she's trying to whip something.
And yeah, she backed
Oh.
up because we were, you
That's
know,
not possible.
telling her to move away from us, and she did. She hit the urn, and she wasn't even sorry. Like, the urn hits the ground, it cracks open, and she's
sorry.
more
I
upset.
felt bad about
Temptation, why were you using a rope or a lasso? From your statement, you said this was in the living room. Why were you doing it there if you know there's delicate things and the rope or the lasso?
Well,
might
that was
belong?
the room that they had told me
I know,
that
but
we were
don't you
gonna.
look around and see if you're gonna?
Well, I
something's
didn't
gonna
think they'd
happen?
have like an important thing in the
Well,
room
it
with
doesn't matter.
ashes
I
in
mean,
it.
they
that-
would have
ashes-
any porcelain thing or anything breakable. I mean, in a home.
Right, well, I didn't know they were going to come at me, and I wasn't planning on backing up the way I had to, or they would have been on me.
Okay, so
And
when
I
you
had to do
finished,
it.
did you complain to Mr. Presley?
Yes.
Okay, and what happened then?
What I said to her was, well, they'll call me in the morning. I'll wait for their call if they have any problem with the show, and I'll deal with it then. Well, she was telling me a different story. That she came into the show, they were fine with her walking in, okay? They started the show, and once you start the show, that's it. You know, they
Yeah,
could have told her at
Okay,
the
I have a
door.
question. Did Mr. Delancey ever request a refund on the services?
Yes, he did when he called me in the morning.
Okay, and
Yeah.
what did you say?
I said, no refunds. When the show starts, that's it.
Okay,
You know?
so did you continue to ask for a refund?
I called every day for about 2 weeks, and he just stopped answering my phone calls, which is why I'm here today. I mean, but I feel like I'm due this refund. I mean, this
They didn't
she
even
is not
send
represented
anything,
on his
Your Honor.
website. This
I
is
s-
not like the girls on the website that you get. And he says on his website that you can do same day placements, and that it'll always be a girl that's on the website.
Let me see. So you got your grandmother's urn taken care of properly?
Yeah, well, we had to get a new urn for that because it was broken. And
So how long was the show for?
well, we booked for a 45-minute show, but it ended around 15 minutes.
And what was the total price you paid Mr. Presley?
$350 for the show.
$350. And then what's the rest of the?
It was $142 and some odd cents for a replacement urn.
So then you're telling me here that yes, same day service is available. We recommend you call us to order a stripper because their schedules will fill up quickly.
And he also guarantees that it will be a girl that's featured on the website.
But I told you on the phone, there was no girl on the website
You
right
just
now.
told me that the girls that we requested were not available, but you had someone with experience that you could send over.
Yeah,
We'll
but
always
nobody
receive
on the
services
And
website.
experience, I
showcased in
didn't
the
realize
website.
meant old.
So
No,
is
it's
Temptation
not old.
showcased in the website?
No, she's not.
No, she's not.
She just fill in whenever I
I've
need
been
somebody.
doing this for 20 years.
Oh yeah, I know,
You know, I know
but
what
he
I'm
clearly
doing.
says
They were having a good time.
You will
I
always
mean-
receive someone that is showcased on your
But I
website.
told him on the phone that we don't have anybody on the website right now.
Anything else, gentlemen?
I mean, Your Honor, once she broke that urn, she wasn't even apologizing. She was just demanding more money from us because we hadn't given her enough tips in her fee.
They were really cheap.
Mr. Delancey, you use the services, and any reasonable person would know that if you call at the 11th hour, you're not going to get the ideal anything that you want. And you knew the rules were, once the show starts, no refunds. That's pretty clear. That's pasted all over his website. So no refund. But on the earn, unfortunately, Ms. Johnson and Mr. Presley, you will be responsible because your employee went and she broke something, whether she was careless or she was trying to be careful, it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, she actually broke something. So you will have to reimburse them $142.28. Okay? Good luck to you all.
Judge Perez has ruled in favor of the plaintiff. The defendant must reimburse the plaintiff for the earn.
I'm really sorry about your grandmother's urn. It was an accident.
I'm just glad I got the money back for it, and I'm never using your services again.
Coming up.
It was my idea to get drugs, but Dylan over there is the one that got him for us.
Breaks. So you are admitting to me that you guys did drugs?
Closed captioning provided by This has been a production of Entertainment Studios.